Yeah. So, yung ano kasi, apart from me being an athlete, I do also have this advocacy called Fight to Protect. So, we use sport as a platform and tool to address the issue of child sexual violence. So,
Mm.
nung pandemic, the incidents of online sexual exploitation of children have been said to increase because a lot of children and a lot of perpetrators were online more. So there were
Mm.
more
Yeah.
opportunities to for this abuse to happen, 'di ba? And yung Philippines kasi has been tagged by both the International Justice Mission and UNICEF as a global hotspot and the epicenter of online sexual exploitation of children. So because of that, I felt this sense of urgency na okay, what can I do here from my home, 'di ba? I can't really go out there
Mm.
and do much kasi nga maraming restrictions nung time na yon. So what we did was as Fight to Protect, we partnered with yung organizations that are operating in the local communities that are vulnerable to OSEC. OSEC is
Mm.
online sexual exploitation of children. And what
Mhm.
we did was we used like the platform of sport to help raise funds for their existing project. Their existing project was Project Safe. So SAFE stands for Support and Awareness to Fight Exploitation. And what they did was they raised awareness on the issue local communities by empowering youth advocates, and they also did provide yung needs ng local communities. Kasi nung time na yun, sobrang ano talaga, hirap, ang daming nawalan ng trabaho and all that. And very vulnerable yung communities to going into this kind of it's a form of trafficking eh. It's a form of human
Oo.
trafficking, 'di ba? So
Mm.
ayun, so nagpartner kami with Nazarene Compassionate Ministries. They were the ones that really implemented the project, and what we did was we helped them raise awareness but to different audiences naman, hindi dun sa local community, para we can tap resources from people who wanted to take part in these kinds of efforts and help protect children even from their very own homes. So we actually nag-organize kami ng Sweat to Protect to help raise funds for Project Safe, parang online workout fundraiser. And we were able to raise around, I think, 600 plus thousand pesos and
That's a
reach
lot naman,
mga
yeah.
2,000 families. Ganun. So, that's one of the things that I was busy with then nung height ng pandemic. It was Fight to Protect. And we were also, kasi yung other thing then that Fight to Protect does is we actually teach the sport of jiu-jitsu to children that have been rescued.
Mhm.
So, parang helping them recover from their trauma. So, we actually were able to expand to even more homes kasi nga naging online. 'Di ba pagka in
Mm.
person, very limited yung pwede mong maturuan, but since naging online siya, we were able to expand to even more
Yeah.
shelters and teach them
Oo.
the sport. So ayun.
Mm. Yes, yung maganda ngang initiative yun na when I read it, before I wasn't really aware of it nung mga siguro earlier part of nung wala pang pandemic, mga 2019 siguro, I wasn't really
Mhm.
aware about that advocacy yet. Pero I've read about it na nga, and it's great that you continue to do it, especially nitong pandemic. Yun nga, you reached the great goal that you had in that in the early part of the pandemic in 2020. Pero
Mhm.
I'm curious also, how did you have that passion? Like, where did it stem from to have that advocacy? Because people could actually think of a lot of things, to help solve the problems in the world. Pero ikaw, parang na-execute mo talaga, and continually mong ginagawa, hindi lang yung parang isang like project lang tapos na. You still continue doing it, and you continue to progress into, greater goals and objectives in the future.
Yeah, so medyo mahaba siyang kwento, but I'll try to summarize it. It
Yeah,
actually
go ahead.
started kasi
Mm.
2015, yan yung year na I joined yung IBJJF World Championship for the second time. And then
Mm.
after winning that, that's when I started asking the question of purpose. Like, what's all
Mm.
this for? Parang I didn't really understand why I was doing what I was doing. I'm
Mm.
like, kasi crowdfunded athlete din ako before. So I
Mm.
was actually spending other people's money to be able to
Oo.
join the competitions nung wala pang national team. So parang
Mm.
inisip ko, ba't ko ba 'to ginagawa? Okay,
Mm.
nanalo na ako and then what, 'di ba? I mean, of course,
Mm.
magandang bagay 'yan to bring home medals for your country, 'di ba? And I'm not gonna take that away from athletes. But I just felt like there was something missing. And after that, it was then the same year, month of November 2015. That's when I came across a certain article on CNN, and it was actually about a survivor of child sex trafficking, and she was speaking in the article, and then she said that from the age of 12 to 16 years old, she was actually raped 43,200 times. So, nung nabasa ko yun, ako parang, what? This happens to children? Parang nangyayari to sa
Mm.
mga bata? Posible ba to? Is this even physically possible? So, child sex trafficking nga, kaya ganun kadaming beses because it happened every single day. So,
Mm.
yung time na yun, sobra akong na-bother and I literally couldn't sleep. So, I researched about the issue, and long story short, sobrang daming events na nangyari doon. I met certain people who were involved with the same kinds of issues. And then what happened then along the process was I also got to know the Lord. As in, that's
Mm.
when I surrendered my life to Christ and got to know the Lord. Feel ko nga He used that to lead me to Him. Eh. That's first and
Mm.
foremost. And then the more I got to know the Lord, the more na develop yung desire to actually use whatever He's blessed my life with. So yung question of purpose, number one is to bring God glory. Number two, how do I do that? It's using the sport of jiu-jitsu na He allowed those victories in my life. And nagkaroon ako ng platform because of that. And even the sport itself, being taught to the children that experience that kind of trauma, it has proved to be beneficial. So I see na nag-fit yung kung what God allowed in my life, the people He allowed me to meet, and
Mm.
the skills that He allowed me to have. And for me
Mm.
kasi, it's not just something that's from myself. I think it's from Him. Kaya I really pursued it and gave everything to keep on going until He tells me to stop. So I can't claim it for myself. Now I'm doing this just because it's my idea. Alam mo yun, yung parang, okay, ginawa ko lang kasi gusto ko lang. Parang hindi siya ganun eh. I
Mm.
think na it's partially, I think not just partially, but I think it's really because, ano, it's His work. It's His work in my life, and I'm just executing it with His strength then.
Mm.
Ayun.
Yeah, that's a really great mindset that you have nga na hindi naman lahat nga ng tao gano'n, like lalo na yung faith nga nung pandemic madaming
Mhm.
nahihirapan, like they're
Yes.
losing hope and patience na rin. So nung 2015 pa lang ang laki na nung tulong sa'yo, so what more kaya 'di ba nung pandemic din, a good thing you have someone,
Mhm.
you believe in God nga and like His ways, and even if it's
Yes.
tough, you go through it, and you realize the purpose He gives nga to you in order to find the advocacy and complete these projects that you have been continually doing. But then I'm also curious nga if what from these stories or like from these people that you've met, ano yung talagang yung isang story na talagang tumatak sa'yo na you learned a lot from this person that you didn't really expect to learn this much of things from him or
Well, from the time kasi I read the article, parang I met this family. And then yung family na ito, they actually rescued a girl that was also being sexually abused by the father of the family that she was staying with previously. So they rescued her. So I really got to connect with this family, and crazy thing was may nagbigay sa akin ng book on purpose, and I found out the family was actually studying the same book then at the same time. So talagang we studied the book together. And
mm,
yun pala, the family was Christian, so they shared the gospel with me, and they became my mentors both spiritually and also in terms of how to move forward with the advocacy. Kasi they also had their own nonprofit at that time. They
mm,
were serving orphans naman specifically. So they allowed me to volunteer for that. And they introduced me to the first home that we started serving and teaching jujitsu to. So the first set of children na we taught jujitsu to nung December 2016, it was because that family introduced me to the owners of the shelter. So they really set it up. They helped set everything up. They helped me figure out what it was that the Lord wanted me to do. And until
Mm-hmm.
now, we still have that kind of a mentorship relationship. I still regularly communicate with them. They're also pretty much like family to me na.